Yo fam, how's it going? It feels great to be back. We're pumping like a mofo. You gotta love it. In today's show, Bitcoin price breaks $26,000 as U.S. inflation comes in at 6%. Quoting Max Kaiser, when Bitcoin breaks 30,000, CZ shorts start hammering him badly. Squeeze harder, degens. And Max also says the amount of criminality and abuse by all major institutions, corporations, media, and non-El Salvadoran governments against humanity has hollowed us to the point of utter worthlessness and now collapse. Just like Satoshi warned us, opt out with Bitcoin, and quoting William Clemente, watching Bitcoin absolutely send during a banking crisis after regulators tried to cut off the industry has to be one of the most satisfying moments ever. Touche. Also in today's show, FTX-related stablecoins on the move as 145 million transferred to crypto exchanges, as well as Biden pledges no cost to the taxpayer to shield SVB and signature depositors. Also in today's show, Bitcoin market cap flips the tech giant Meta and widens the gap on Visa. That's right. We'll also be discussing Rich Dad Poor Dad author Robert Kiyosaki warns of a crash landing ahead and says gold, silver, and Bitcoin is the answer. Also in today's show, we'll be discussing a face-ripping Bitcoin and crypto rally incoming amid U.S. banking crisis, says the BitMEX founder, Arthur Hayes. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, in today's show. And today's episode is brought to you by Binance, the world's largest crypto exchange. Take advantage of my referral link in the description below and you can claim your bonus of up to $600. And if you're a Binance US user, take advantage of the Binance US link with the code to get some incentives as well. And keep it in mind, you can trade Bitcoin, top related pairs for zero fees, truly making it a no-brainer. And let's get this crypto, shall we? And welcome everyone just tuning in. This is podcast episode number 1220. I'm your host JV, and you gotta love it with the Bitcoin price action hovering around $26,000 at the time of this recording. I woke up, it was like I think last night was like 24, and then we hit 25 this morning, and then within 20 minutes we hit 26. So this is excellent, and this is what I've been anticipating for a very long time. So congrats to all the Bitcoin hodlers. And checking out some of the charts here, we can see Bitcoin up almost 8% for the day, and yesterday we were up 20%, trading just under 26,000. We got Ether up 4%, trading above 1,700, and all the major cryptos pumping in the green. And checking out coin market cap, just yesterday the market cap was under $1 trillion. Today we're 1.1 trillion. Pretty epic, with 92 billion in volume at the past 24 hours, 44.2% Bitcoin dominance, with Ether dominance at 19.1%. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers in the past 24 hours, CFX up 39%, trading at 32 cents, followed by IMX up 26%, trading at $1.25, followed by Filecoin up almost 20%, trading at $7.51. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers for the past week, massive gains across the entire crypto market. Hallelujah. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, we're currently rated at 56. Back in greed. It's been a very long time since we've been in greed. Yesterday was a neutral 49, last week a 49, and last month a 50, which is neutral as well. And now for the $1 million question. How many of you took advantage of that recent dip just the other day, sub 20,000? Because if you did, congratulations, as Bitcoin is now up roughly $7,000 from that time, like 48 hours ago. You gotta love crypto, fam. But with that being shared, let's dive into today's technical analysis. The price of Bitcoin saw a sharp uptick over 26 Gs as the U.S. Department of Labor released the latest CPI data for February 2023. CPI rose 0.4% last month on the seasonally adjusted basis, with the department noting that all items indexed denoting inflation decreased by 6% over the last year. The Labor Department notes that inflation saw its lowest 12-month increase since the period ending September of 2021. And as CNBC reported, that conventional markets were volatile following the release, while crypto markets reacted positively, which we're witnessing. Bitcoin saw a surge in price alongside Ether, according to data from CoinMarketCap. CPI measures the average change over time in consumer prices for a basket of goods and services. It's calculated by the Bureau of Labor Statistics and is used as an indicator of inflation. Now, CPI reflects the spending pattern patterns of consumers on items such as food, housing, transportation, clothing, medical care, and recreation. It uses the adjust wages, benefits, and Social Security payments for inflation, measure economic performance, and set monetary policy. The U.S. Labor Department's statement notes that the shelter index was the largest contributor to the monthly all-time increase, accounting for 70% of February's 2023 CPI increase. Indexes for food, recreation, household furnishings, and operations also contributed. Now, the food index increased 0.4% last month, while food at home index rose 0.3%. The energy index decreased by 0.6%, while natural gas and fuel oil indexes also declined. In February, the broader crypto community offered a variety of takes on March 14th, including Anthony Pompliano, co-founder and partner of Morgan Creek Digital. He weighed in on the CPI update in a series of tweets, highlighting Bitcoin's price appreciation in response to the latest inflation numbers. Quoting Pomp, Bitcoin continues to accelerate in response to high inflation, a legacy banking crisis, and lack of predictability in the Fed's response. Facts. And Bitcoin proponent and Custodia Bank founder and CEO Caitlin Long highlighted Bitcoin's price performance in the wake of the tumultuous week that saw the likes of Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank closed by U.S. regulators. Quoting her here, bank regulators, Chancellor on the brink of a second bailout for the banks. Bitcoin, hold my beer. We're up 30% plus since SVB bank run on Thursday. Facts. Pretty exciting times, and quoting Max here, when Bitcoin breaks 30,000, sees these shorts start hammering him badly. Squeeze harder, you degens. And he also says the amount of criminality and abuse by all major institutions, corporations, media, and non-El Salvador governments against humanity has hollowed us to the point of utter worthlessness and now collapse. Just like Satoshi warned us, opt out with Bitcoin. And Clemente is watching Bitcoin absolutely send during a banking crisis after regulators tried to cut off the industry. It has to be one of the most satisfying moments ever. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the on-chain analysts. And with that being shared, now let's discuss what's happening between the FTX stablecoins, which are currently on the move. Check it out. Amid multiple ongoing investigations, FTX continues to move funds. Addresses related to the failed crypto exchange reportedly transferred around 145 million in stables to various platforms, as Look on Chain spotted March 14th. 3 wallets associated with FTX and a subsidiary, Alameda Research, moved 69.64 million Tether and 75.94 million USD coin. The Tether reserves have gone to custodial wallets on platforms like Coinbase, Binance, and Kraken, and all funds in USDC were transferred to a Coinbase custodial wallet. Both FTX and Alameda are in the process of recovering assets as they face demands to return the funds to different groups of investors, according to FTX attorney Andy. And by January of 2023, the troubled crypto exchange had already recovered $5 billion in cash and liquid cryptos. However, its total liabilities exceed $8.8 billion. The latest update in the FTX bankruptcy case came as a new deal had been struck with a company owned by the government of Abu Dhabi. Interesting. Alameda Research sold its remaining interest in venture capital firm Sequoia Capital to the Abu Dhabi Sovereign Wealth Fund for $45 million. And in March, Alameda Research filed suit against Grayscale Investments in the Court of Chancery in Delaware. The lawsuit seeks to unlock $9 billion or more in value for shareholders of Grayscale Bitcoin and Ethereum Trust, and realize over $250 million in asset value from the FTX debitors, customers, and creditors, according to the statement. And as cases against FTX piled up, some plaintiffs requested the consolidation of lawsuits against the bankrupt exchange. However, March 8th, the judge denied the consolidation request, highlighting that the defendants have not yet been allowed to respond. United States District Judge Jacqueline Corley recently denied the request to consolidate 5 proposed class action suits against FTX. And I'll be keeping you up to date with the latest FTX saga. Now for our next story of the day, let's discuss Mr. Biden's pledge. He says no cost to the taxpayer to shield SVB and Signature depositors. The oversight collapse to the 2 major traditional banks, Silicon Valley Bank and Signature, triggered a series of events that impacted millions of businesses, venture capitalists, and bottom-line investors alike. However, U.S. President Sleepy Joe Biden assured taxpayers that they would not feel the burn as the federal government takes action to protect depositors. On March 11th, major stables including USD coin and DAI depegged from the US dollar. In fact, we saw USDC go down to 87 or 89 cents. Now, knowing that numerous other entities tied to the collapsing banks may suffer irreparable damage, Biden announced March 12th his commitment to hold the responsible people accountable for the event. Yeah, sure. While the federal government's proactive approach to minimizing damage was appreciated, many pointed out it's the taxpayers that would ultimately suffer the depositors' bailout. On March 13th, Biden addressed concerns through a tweet. Thanks to the actions we have taken over the past few days to protect depositors from SVB and signature banks, Americans can have confidence that our system is safe. And Bitcoin price appreciation shows you just how confident those Americans are. Gotta love it. Biden assured American citizens that the traditional financial system was safe. After the federal intervention, he further stated taxpayers would not be burdened for saving SVB and signature bank depositors. Sure. However, Biden's followers on Twitter were not completely sold on this idea, as many pointed out that everything you do or touch costs the taxpayer. Facts. In parallel, the U.S. Fed is closely investigating the factors that led to the failure of SVB, including how it supervised and regulated the now collapsed financial institution. And as previously reported, SVB was shut down by the California Department of Financial Protection and Innovation March 10th, with no specific reason offered for the bank's forced closure. However, it's suspected that SVB was on the edge of collapse due to severe liquidation troubles relating to major losses on government bond investments and unprecedented cash withdrawals as the bank runs in the United States continue and as the Bitcoin price action continues to pump. TikTok. Next block. Now let's discuss Bitcoin as a whole. As the market cap continues to climb, it actually just flipped tech giant Meta and widened the gap on Visa, which is actually pretty sweet. So let's now break this story down, shall we? Despite a turbulent week for crypto following the downfall of SVB and Signature Bank, Bitcoin's market cap has managed to flip that of the tech giant Meta. At this time, from company's market cap, it shows Bitcoin's market cap reached $471 billion, surpassing Meta's $469 billion. Company's market cap provides real-time monitoring and ranking of market caps for cryptos, as well as public companies, precious metals, and ETFs. Now check it. Bitcoin's market cap rose 9.7% in the past 24 hours, pushing Bitcoin to sit on the 11th spot amongst top assets by market cap, just below the electric vehicle maker Tesla. And on February 20th, Cointelegraph reported Bitcoin flipped the market cap of payment processing giant Visa for the third time in history, putting it just ahead of the payment company. And now that gap between the two market caps is now more than 20 billion, though it is still quite a distance from gold, which sits in first position with 12.59 trillion market cap, followed by Apple in second place with 2.3 trillion. And Bitcoin's price has risen 9% in the past 24 hours, actually much higher now, as we're now roughly at 26,000 at the time of this recording. And I would love to see Bitcoin hit 30,000 before the end of today's recording. Wouldn't that be something? And I think there's not much resistance in between 25 and 30. I think we may climb on up to the 27 range, maybe test some price action over there. But I think once we surpass 28, 30,000 and above, and keep in mind also, this is the highest price action of Bitcoin we have seen in 265 days. That's a very long time, fam, almost an entire year. So this is the high, again, for almost the entire year. Pretty sweet. And we're just getting started. And and it's just a direct reflection of why Bitcoin was created in the first place by Satoshi. It was due to the 2008 financial crisis. Then it was released by Satoshi in 2009. And, history was made. But anyways, let's discuss the latest with Rich Dad, and then we'll discuss more about this mega Bitcoin rally, as per the ex-BitMEX CEO, Arthur Hayes. And shout out to Rich Dad Poor Dad author, Kiyosaki. Now he is warning of a deep recession now that the federal regulators have taken over the two collapsed U.S. banks. The Rich Dad Poor Dad author tells his 2.3 million Twitter followers that the Fed moves to make whole depositors at Silicon Valley Bank and Signature. Investors should be allocating to Bitcoin, gold, and silver. Quoting him again here, bailouts begin. More fake money to invade sick economy. Still recommend same response. Buy more gold, silver, and Bitcoin. Take care. Crash landing ahead. Kiyosaki is warning more banks may fail and draws a comparison between what is happening now and the financial crisis of '08, when banking giant the Lehman Brothers collapsed and filed for bankruptcy. Quoting Kiyosaki here again, 2 major banks have crashed. Number 3, set to go. Buy real gold and silver. Talk about real estate, gold and silver. Coins now, no ETFs. When bank number 3 goes gold and silver rockets up. 2008 forecast collapse of the Lehman days before it crashed on CNN. Kiyosaki said earlier in the month that investors were not paying enough attention to silver and that the precious metal was trading far below its fair value. Rich Dad also said he agreed with the statement from Andy Schectem, the president of precious metals investment firm Miles Franklin, that silver is the most undervalued asset in a generation. I disagree there. I think it's Bitcoin because I know the true value of it. But hey, anyways, he He also said that traditional investment methods are not likely to protect people's wealth from the financial collapse that he predicts will occur. Quoting him again here, "For years, I have been saying saving money and investing in a well-diversified portfolio of stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and ETFs is risky advice. Today, it is still very risky advice. I still believe gold, silver, Bitcoin is best for unstable times, although prices will go up and down, so take care." So there you have it. Let me know if you agree or disagree with Rich Dad. And now let's dive into the mega Bitcoin rally as per the ex-BitMEX CEO, and then we'll do some live Q&A where you'll be able to ask me anything that you like. Okay, next story of the day. And shout out to Crypto Hayes. BitMEX co-founder Arthur Hayes says he's preparing for a massive Bitcoin and crypto rally as the Biden administration fights to keep contagion from spreading through the American banking system. Good luck with that. In a series of tweets, Hayes says he believes the Fed will be forced to completely stop its rate hikes and begin to inject money back into the system, paving the way for an influx of capital into risk assets and particularly crypto assets. The prediction comes as the U.S. banking crisis continues, with First Republic Bank shares down 75% on Monday as investors scramble to reassess their portfolios as individuals and corporations examine the safety of their assets within the nation's regional banks. Hayes says he believes the outcome is already clear. Quoting him here, "Are you ready for the mother bull market?" 45 minutes into the U.S. market open and the banks are getting halted left, right, and center. By 4 p.m. Eastern, the Fed funds might go back at 0%. Get ready for a face-ripping rally in risk assets. Money printer, go. And he also says in this tweet, that is a effing savage move in the 2-year. In case you think this is something other than what it is, the bond market is saying it's back to print that money mode. Don't fight the Fed. Word up. And the price of Bitcoin, which has been built to be a decentralized self-powered bank in cyberspace without the need for a middleman, is already soaring amid this banking crisis. Bitcoin jumped from a low of 19,600 to now over 26,000 at the time of this recording, representing a stunning approximate 30% turnaround. And on Sunday, the Biden admin announced it would backstop all depositors at SVB, as well as the newly shuttered Signature Bank, and ensure everyone can get their money out. The move is designed to reassure the American public that the money they hold in their bank accounts is safe, and that even accounts holding more than the FDIC insured amount of $250,000 will remain intact. And we all know they can't possibly pay it back because the FDIC only has so many billions and there's over trillions in the United States banking system. So keep that in mind. If there was a bank run, you're not getting your money back regardless if it's insured. That, my friend, is a fact. The Fed has created a separate facility designed to offer loans for up to 1 year to institutions affected by the bank failures. Regional American banks are failing due to fears about the investments they made in U.S. bonds, which are designed to maintain a stable value and offer institutions a safe way to diversify and earn yield, but the value of those bonds have plummeted amid the Fed's series of aggressive rate hikes. So there you have it. Let me know if you agree or disagree with Crypto Hayes. And with that being shared, now let's dive right into the live Q&A. And shout out to everyone sitting out here in the live chat. I appreciate each and every one of you. Paul, good to see you. Baller Bill, Matt in Bali. We got Skip on down the road. We got F1. Welcome. Bitcoin Maximus, selling with twins. Michael Volkman. Word up. Welcome, welcome. eCoin, Frankie V in the building. Art Girl, good to see some females in the building, as my audience is roughly about 95% gentlemen. You know what I mean? And I'm going to scroll to the top. Please do ask me any question you would like to share, and we will read all of these out loud the best that I can. Let me just reset this chat here in the YouTube app so I can see y'all on my phone. And let me switch my angle here for y'all. Bada boom, bada bing. Good stuff. Okay. Good to see you as well, Nate. Welcome. Bring facts in the building. How's it going, buddy? Always a pleasure. eCoin, good to see you. And I'm just going to start rattling out some of the comments. I'm going to start from the top. Good stuff. And good to see you as well, William O'Leary, selling with twins. Yeah, good stuff. Uber, no pressure. The future of our planet depends on a Bitcoin mega pump. Word up. Real talk. Shannon, welcome, Shannon Burke. I am from the Water Flavored Soup Society for people who like internet money. Do you have a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior, ChatGPT? I don't know if that is a joke or if you're being serious, but that is hilarious. Yeah, it's a joke. Satwise, anyone else see Jim Cramer said last year that Signature Bank was safe? Betting against him makes people rich. Yes, I actually watched the clip. It was approximately 1 or 2 months ago. He's like, want to know the best investments? Signature Bank and Silicon Valley Bank. They're sleeping giants. They have been quiet, but these are the ones to watch out for. Less than 2 months later, collapse. You know what I mean? So inverse Kramer couldn't be any more real because anything he says, do the opposite. He's purposely designed to be there to mislead you so you lose your money. Have you not figured that out yet? Has he ever been right about any call? I'm curious. For the record, let me know. I've never seen him right about anything. Can't make this stuff up. You know what I mean? Wonder whatever happened to Team 4-figure Bitcoin. Says Dan Drummond, good morning, fam. That is a hilarious question. You never know. Listening to Joe Biden while waiting. Oh, word up, Kevin. Well, I appreciate the wait as well. I had some technical difficulties, and I didn't want to go live with the technical difficulties knowing it would be a ishy experience. So I'm like, let me just reset my computer to avoid those tribulations, and I'm glad you guys waited the 10 minutes. Appreciate that very much. The more people that it spread because of the less volatile. Welcome, John and Wala. Michael says, Stelling, I believe he got sideways with JV. I miss him, but JV has to run things for the best of the fam. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. We had some admins, and one admin was just like block, block, block. And it seemed like he was just blocking the Bitcoin maxis. Maybe he was offended by them. I don't understand why. So I took his permission as admin away, and everything has been fine since. And my apologies if any of you got blocked as a result. That's one of the unfortunate things. You know what I mean? But I think the current crew of admins are all amazing, and they're all pro-Bitcoin and rooting for Bitcoin. So no one's going to get blocked unless you're purposely attacking somebody in the chat, for no good reason, or, just spamming, something like that. There's no reason to ever, block someone for expressing their opinion. But as long as it's not like hurtful upon others, and as long as it's not spamming, because nobody likes spammers. Let me know if that makes sense. Selling, yep, good stuff. The volatility is more a result of Bitcoin having such a small market cap, says Skip. Maximus says, Michael, he banned me for nothing just because I called him out on his 12K prediction. Yeah, he was actually very bearish, and he was anticipating he was repeating Garrett Soloway predictions of like $8,000. And he was, anyone calling the opposite, he's like, block. It was crazy. So it won't happen again. Morning Crypto News Alerts fam. Got to head to the meeting soon, but stepping in to say hi. Hey, happy pump day. Happy pump day. Good to see you. Love days like this. I mean, in the past 24 hours, everyone's here. Net worth went up tremendously if you're a hodler of Bitcoin. That's what's up. Megadon, welcome. I think JV went to El Salvador's Bitcoin party to the beach. Yeah, and I'm back. I took a private jet, fam. Maximus, I have not seen anything that would cause me to ban anyone. Well, have a good day. Michael, it was just a difference of opinion. Can't bar people for that. Not without JV's approval. Power went to his head, mate. Word up. Smash the like button. I appreciate that, especially if you're new to the channel. Hit the bell icon, turn on all notifications, and be sure to join us sometime on iTunes or Spotify. We do have a podcast there, currently receiving over $500,000 per month. It's ultimately this podcast, which I then upload into an audio. I do a little bit of editing, to make it more in alignment with the pod. But it's good stuff. If you haven't had a chance to ever check it out and you just want to listen to the audio, be sure to check it out on iTunes and Spotify. Links are always in the description down below. Good stuff. Face ripping. Love that title. Me too, Damien. I'm glad you can join us here this morning. Skip says, was Bitcoin price rise because of the failing banks or other reason? Main reason is because of the failing banks. I think people lose confidence in the banking system and they go long Bitcoin. Just like, again, the original purpose of Bitcoin was created because Satoshi and whoever was a part of that original movement of cypherpunks, they were sick and tired of the banking bailouts. And that's exactly what's happening right now, because who pays for the banking bailouts? Taxpayers like you and I. So Bitcoin was created so we can have incorruptible money. And now we have incorruptible money, and it's rising because people are losing faith in the U.S. Be good for crypto because Bitcoin is on its own vector. And also keep in mind when the dollar is weak, Bitcoin is strong. Bitcoin is inverse dollar. So Bitcoin typically has a opposite reaction to whatever the dollar is doing. And right now the dollar is weak, so Bitcoin is showing its strength and flexing on these mofos. You know what I mean? Maximus says I dollar cost average every Monday. Congratulations and cheers. Well done. StatWise says, Maximus, you should consider strike IDCA every hour. Wow. It makes you less susceptible to price spikes like the last several days. Plus, I love to support Jack Mallers. Word up. I wonder if Strike is now available in Puerto Rico. Last year when I tried to download it, it said it wasn't available at that time. But Strike is a great solution where you can use the Lightning Network and do a lot of cool things like DCA by the hour, which I think is fantastic. Thanks for letting me know. F1 says 2 laws of the universe. Number 1, get woke, go broke. Number 2, Bitcoin is the solution to all central banking criminality. Facts. Word up. I agree. Yeah, CZ is shorting Bitcoin, says Skip, question mark. Who knows? Don't know. Frankie V says, good morning, crypto fam. Good morning, Frankie V. Good to see you, fam. Congrats to all the Bitcoin hodlers. Congrats, fam. Love to see it. Statwise, welcome. JV 30,000, let's freaking go. Send it. Print that money. Total failure. Kiyosaki has been warning us as long as I can remember. Yeah, I think from the time I read Rich Dad Poor Dad as a young adult, he'd been warning us. He's been the most consistent, so I have much respect for Rich Dad. Much respect. History repeats. Bank runs coming, but at least this time we have BTC. Why are people such slow learners? Unfortunate truth is people happen to be slow. It's not their fault, really. Kind of is, because they got to take responsibility for it. But at the same time, they're being misled by the mainstream media and financial media like Jim Cramer. You already know the dealio. It sucks, but that's the world we live in. Next stop, 10 cents, up 500% since December. That's what it is. What crypto are you talking about, Matt and Bali? Skip says a stopped clock is correct sometimes. That's right. I think the quote is like, even a broken clock is right at least 2 times per day. And I guess we're referring to Kramer. A poop coin. Someone referenced Skip. Yep, twice in 24 hours. A moment of silence for all the dead bears. Bahaha, suckers. Can we please have a moment of silence? There you go. What's that smell? Someone says, I smell bears getting burnt. In a Bitcoin bull, you make multiples of Bitcoin gains in the Bitcoin miners. Think about it, says Nate. eCoin says Bitcoin shrugging off bad news and making big boy moves. Let's freaking go. Dollar-backed banks going belly up. Bitcoin says, hodl my beer. Exactly. The irony. Matt says we'll be happy and own nothing. Screw them. How to defeat them from that plan. Bitcoin is how we defeat the forces of evil. If you're not stacking, what are you doing with your life? 30,000 happening soon. Breakout target of the upward channel is 40,000, says Gilly. Well, send it. I cannot wait. I would love to see the bears' faces continue to get melt like, how is this possible? We'll show you how it's possible. Let's go. Kiyosaki will one day get it right. Megadon, people are scared of change. It will take time, but they will come around to the king of crypto. Yeah, when Bitcoin's like at $100,000, everyone will come around and be like, wow, I missed the boat. You know what I mean? Maybe it's not too late, and then they'll be motivated to do something. But when Bitcoin's at like the best discount we have seen in the past 6 years, like when it was just sub 20,000 2 days ago, people are like, no, I think it's going to go down to 8. I think it's going to go down to 10, because people are more naturally pessimistic. They were designed to be that way because we're programmed to be that way. What does the news teach us? Fear, 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 fear. Divide and conquer. You know what I mean? So there's nothing new under the sun. But 3 things cannot be long hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. Quoting Buddha. Yeah, one of the most hated, but I think least understood. Hex. Word up, Max. Or Matt. Heavy Indica says, bring facts. My favorite. Beer, my man. Bring facts. Power corrupts. Avoid power over others at all costs. Only over yourself. Facts. And absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. You know what I mean? But when Bitcoin, there's blood in the streets. I mean, when there's blood in these streets, we seize the moment and take advantage of it. But with that being shared, folks, now let's recap with what I shared with you here in today's live show. And I appreciate each and every one of you tuning in live, by the way. In today's show, we discussed the latest technical analysis as Bitcoin price finally smashes $26,000 as the U.S. inflation comes in at 6%. And we reached a high for the past 265 days as far as the Bitcoin price action. We also discussed FTX-related stablecoins are on the move with 145 million transferred to crypto exchanges. We also discussed that Biden pledges no cost to the taxpayer to shield SVB and signature depositors, which we all know is a big fat lie. You know what I mean? Also, we discussed Bitcoin market cap flips tech giant Meta and widens the gap on Visa. We also discussed Rich Dad Poor Dad author Kiyosaki warns of a crash landing ahead and says gold, silver, and Bitcoin are the answer. And we also shared the latest from the ex-BitMEX CEO about a face-ripping Bitcoin and crypto rally incoming amid this U.S. banking crisis. But